You good?
Yeah. Okay. Episode 28, Atlee Hickerson.
Atlee Hickerson. You know what? It was a fun conversation. However, I realized we've let the entire month of October slip away from us. We've been busy, a lot going on. We totally missed doing a Halloween spooktacular.
I like it.
Fucking missed it, but
Dude, never been done. I like it. Original.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
It does suck, but I'm gonna look forward to Christmas at this point. Let's skip Thanksgiving.
I'm very looking. Get Thanksgiving the fuck out of here. As a vegetarian, I don't give a shit about it.
Well, as an anarchist, I don't give a shit about it.
I mean, true.
So together, we don't give two shits about it.
Collectively.
Straight to Christmas. Halloween's cool. I get it. Sure. It's not my thing. It's not my bag, baby.
Not anymore.
It's not my bag of candy.
I was talking to Diane about that. We were having breakfast the other day, and we're flipping through. We sit down, we each get a Gazette, and we kind of look through it and kind of make fun of it. And I noticed there's a shit ton of ads for Halloween stuff. And I'm sitting there looking at it. When did I stop giving a shit out loud? When did I stop giving a shit about Halloween? And Diana goes, right? Like, when did that just go away?
When you met the love of your life. Yeah. That's when it went away, because we all know Halloween, horniest night of the year.
Yeah.
By far. I think Halloween is hornier than New Year's. I'm going to go as far as to say it's hornier than Valentine's Day.
Sure. I mean,
I think we've talked about this.
We did. We talked about it on the podcast with Lucas. It's very horny because you get to dress up and be a totally different person. And some people can hide their flaws with prosthetics, masks.
Prosthetics?
Like maybe they were like a fake nose and some weird shit.
I'm imagining like a green witch, like from Wizard of Oz.
Would you fuck a green witch?
Yeah, I'd fuck a blue witch. I'd fuck a white witch. That's about it. No, I'd fuck an orange witch, man. You ever seen the rare orange witch?
Trump?
Oh.
No, is there an orange witch, really?
I don't know. I can really only name greens and whites.
Would you fuck a witch? A sandwich from Witch?
Like grab my dick in it?
Yeah.
Sure. Are you hungry?
Let's do it.
I would say that Lucas's episode was a bit of a spooktacular.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a bona fide, gentrified, wrapped in mummy gauze episode. It was just more of kind of a nod to Halloween.
For a moment, we did okay. And I think that's all in our ripe old age we can do. Just give a quick tip of the fedora to the Halloween season.
A tip of the witch's brim. I never really understood a witch hat.
Why it is what it is.
Why? Yeah, it's like a Carmen Sandiego and a KKK mixed together. Why that shape?
CSKKK. And it's so pointy. Is she hiding secrets, souls, children? What
if every witch was secretly a cone head? And that's why they had to wear that hat, to hide their huge, tall, pointy heads.
That would be... I think that was on the Coneheads movie, Halloween.
Right. They take the witch's hat off and there's a cone under there.
I believe that's there.
Oh, man. That's great. You think you're original, and then that's what happens.
That's
the
what
Coneheads
happens.
steal it from you.
Goddamn Lorne Michaels. So yeah, skip Thanksgiving altogether. Have some stuffing or whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Some
Go right into Christmas.
Whatever.
Christmas is the shit. Because Christmas lasts all months. Like December 1st to basically New Year's Day, you get Christmas.
Yeah.
Like it's still Christmas. That's why every movie you see that's about Christmas, they still show a New Year's scene, and everyone still has all their Christmas shit up.
Or it'll start out like right after Thanksgiving. Like, we got to get ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
Tim Allen's coming to town, and he's bringing some tricks or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, Christmas is where it's at. We got to do something special for Christmas.
Well, you've been doing something special for Christmas. You talked about it, and I saw on your little computer over here, you started working on some jammage.
I did. I'm trying to keep myself accountable. Had the day off today, and instead of just laying around watching wrestling, I was like, I'm going to work on my songs, my jams.
Yeah.
So I got the boys out, set them all up.
Little bitty boys.
Yeah, and then just started on Silent Night, and maybe I'll give you a sneak peek.
It's a good one to go. It's a good one to start with.
It's easy.
Get your feet wet. Yeah, something easy. Maybe do like. Are you gonna do? Did you decide if you're gonna do hymns? Well, I guess Silent Night would be a hymn. Are you gonna do like classical Christmas, like Santa Claus is coming to town, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I'm staying away from the kids stuff. Rudolph, Frosty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Get out of here. If Bing Crosby didn't sing it.
Right. So, yeah, working on that.
Cool.
It's been really fun. So, yeah, we got to do something special for the episode, though. Like,
I think so.
Maybe the wife cast or the dad cast.
We could do a wife family. Do it family. Do you know what would be cool?
What's that?
Get a fucking mall Santa on the podcast.
All right.
Is that Quail Springs dude still there? That authentic?
That's a good Santa.
He's a good Santa.
That reminds me, I was probably about 14 or 15, and I was at Quail Springs Mall with my grandma right before Christmas, and she didn't drive, so I'd like take her to the mall. I guess I was about 16 because I was driving at the time, and we're looking over the balcony, looking down on the mall Santa, who was, I mean, just a real good Santa, good mall Santa, not a bad Santa, a good Santa.
Was he wearing the typical Santa garb, the red hat?
No, it was kind of different. He had like the red and green tights on under the kind of like rolled up green shorts, like long shorts.
The tufted pants?
Yeah, the tufted like long shorts.
Knickers.
And then he had on like a white, like a billowy shirt. And then I'm describing like a pirate, right? A Christmas pirate. But yeah, like suspenders. And he had like the nice, like natural big Santa beard, the little round gold glasses, but no hat. No hat. Mm-mm.
So it's off-duty Santa.
Yeah. Which, come to think of it, a Santa hat is kind of like a witch's hat.
It is.
It's a tall point.
It hangs. It's a sleeping cap. So essentially, Santa Claus is wearing a sleeping cap outside, a coat made of fur.
Yeah, red and white fur, dude.
Where do you get red fur?
I don't know.
What animals is he murdering up there in the North Pole?
It's just reindeer fur that's been like caked in blood.
Well, yeah.
Scary Santa.
Hey, just murdering them and then renaming them the same name. Or does he have clones? Is it like Moon, the movie Moon, where they're just like a whole barn filled with reindeer clones?
He was listening. He was actually riding around on the sleigh, listening to Slayer, and then Rain in Blood, Reindeer.
Oh.
There you have it.
There it is.
Exposing truths here. So my grandma and I are looking over the balcony, and there's like all these kids around us, and they're all looking over the balcony. It's like a very busy time in the mall. And my grandma leans over to one of this stranger boy. He's probably like 3 or 5, about 4 or 5. And she goes, almost looks like it'd really be Santa Claus. And I remember seeing this kid's face, and he just like his face turned into a melting candle where he was just like, no.
Like reality hit, like you've unveiled the truth. You might as well lean down and go, hey, there's also no Jesus. Your parents are going to die someday.
No Easter Bunny. Taxes. Bad surprises are in store for you.
Your grandma just gave him a bad surprise. That kid's going to remember that too. And in 20 years, well, probably how old would he be now?
Oh God, he probably committed suicide, like, you know,
because it was just in the back of his mind.
Yeah,
just like
terrible.
Fucking grandma, the old lady told me Santa wasn't real. It ruined my life.
Well, speaking of bad surprises, this episode is full of them. We got our good friend Atlee Hickerson.
We discuss it,
and we talk about bad surprises. We talk about dirt bike kids.
Talk about dirt bike kids. Talk about not really giving a shit about the sports when you're a kid. That kind of
being
thing.
Bad at sports when you're a kid.
Being bad at sports. Yeah, we talk about growing up in a shit town.
Good ep. We'll get to it right now, but first, a little business. We've got a few shirts left. Talked about them last week. They're going fast. We're getting so rich. Oh my God. We're like, we should have just named this podcast Trump because we're that rich because of all these donations and all these shirt sales.
Well, as we stated on the previous episode intro, we needed 3 feet. We need another 1.5 feet.
We just need to build it higher. That wall of money. We just need to build it. We need to build it.
The wall got 10 feet higher. That's not good. No. Let's stay away.
We'll save it. All right. Yeah. If you want a shirt, boyspodcast@aol.com. Send us an email and we'll get it taken care of. $12, $3 shipping if you're outside of Oklahoma City. If you're not, we will meet you somewhere and bring you a shirt. We'll do
a sketchy Craigslist meetup.
Yes. It'll be like a parking lot drug deal.
At an on-cue near you.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Atlee Hickerson. Hot off band practice, Atlee Hickerson, good friend.
Yeah, hi.
Almost family at this point.
Absolutely.
And we asked you to be on about a week ago, and here you are.
Yeah.
And we're doing this.
Well, thanks for having me.
How was your day, man? Fresh from band practice.
It was pretty good. I'm in a kind of a haze because there was like pretty much just work and then band practice.
That's going
Nora's
hard.
dad was working on a car throughout the entirety of our practice, so that was an odd element. I kept being very distracted by like, oh, there's like winches and chains. And
Right.
Noise.
Yeah. So work, long day of work, long days, days at the shop.
Yeah, we go hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then straight to band practice, straight here. That's a triple threat.
It's a long
I call it.
day.
Yeah.
It's a damn long day. I got home from work today, and same place that you work, same place that you work, same place we all work.
Yep.
Oddly enough and greatly enough. But I got home and I just hit this wall, and I was just like, fuck it, I need a nap. I was like, man, I went hard. We all go hard. I know we all go hard.
Oh, yeah.
I know you go hard.
Yeah,
man.
we all definitely go pretty hard.
And I came home and fucking put on my earbuds and just like vegged out on the couch for an hour. Josh showed up and I was just like, still kind of half asleep, I think.
Yeah, you're laying on the couch.
And then I got super excited because we started playing Christmas music.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I just started. I talked about this on the previous episode, but I'm doing a all drum machine and synth Christmas project.
Oh.
And it's all like super slow, like chill wavy stuff. It's gonna be fucking sweet.
Yeah, that's totally badass.
Last night I was playing with, actually sitting right next to you. There's that Volca keys over there, and it's got kind of a ribbon controller on it, and I was figuring out the Charlie Brown Christmas song, but it was making the most annoying sound. It was like, and Eric was like, "Put your fucking headphones on." She's like, "I'm gonna have 2 months of this shit."
Yeah, they've invented technology to prevent the wife from having to listen to that.
I know,
Yeah.
and it's so affordable, and
Yeah.
they're usually just laying around the house.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
Maybe in your pocket right now.
A couple of headphones.
So yeah, man. Okay, so I want to start off tonight with again thanking you for coming on, and then I got to talk about the surprise party.
Okay.
I want to start off the night with that because, man, it was my very first surprise party
Really?
ever
Wow.
in my entire 35, almost 36 years of being on God's green earth. First surprise party.
That's
Wow.
kind of incredible.
That
It
is
was
incredible.
awesome, dude. And I kind of want to talk to you about that, but let me set the table here. So we get there just a little bit early, and you and Randy and Lacey were eating. Was it the three
Yeah.
of you?
Well, it was in Kim.
And Kim was with you.
Yeah.
That's right. She wasn't there yet.
She's in on the con. you
Right.
know?
Yeah. So she was kind of, running, what's that? Distraction, whatever. And so we get over there and we're like, we're all excited. They had some nice food set out. Everybody's kind of sitting around. People kept wanting to go outside and smoke. And you're like, no. They'll be here any minute. And y'all show up and we're like in the dark for probably what? 5 minutes or
yeah.
so. Once Austin got the text.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because like I've never just been in the dark with a bunch of grown people. The last time I was in the dark with a bunch of people was like church camp.
Yeah, like a lock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lock in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just funny because like everybody was trying to be quiet. People were making jokes. I think there was like a fart in there somewhere. There's always the fart.
Yeah.
And it was so fun when you came in. You looked legitimately surprised.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I got hats off to Kim because that's hard.
No, she's also she's the one that like always gets you busted when you're trying to get to like good seats or something like that. Like you're totally lying, and like you're all in this together. Like, sure, we're gonna just run this lie. Kim is always the one that's like has the, I don't know whether it's the innocent face or like can't help but make eye contact or something like that. Anyway, suffice it to say, it's super shocking she pulled it off.
It's especially, and especially in this modern age. She, again, hats off to her. She did something I had not thought of before. She went the Instagram route and sent everybody a direct message on Instagram, which is really smart because Instagram only goes to your phone. It's not like, somebody's laptop would have been up and you would have seen it or whatever. Really, really smart way to orchestrate that. And you walked in and you totally looked surprised. But there was a moment where I was like, man, either he really is surprised or he's selling it really good. So
no, yeah.
Kim didn't get mad.
100% authentic. Because it's like, I mean, I'm 36 years old, and so it's kind of like, it's like, man, there's not a lot of plans being made,
Mm-hmm.
No, it's where we end up.
Anytime there is a surprise party in the works, the peculiar thing is the lack of other plans. And so the only thing was just like, I guess we're not really doing anything, which is fine. It's like 36 years old, kind of who cares?
Right. But it's my birthday. Like in the back of your brain, you're probably like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there's like 20% maybe that's kind of like, well, aren't you going to like, at least like, let's go to dinner or something.
Yeah.
Have people over or something.
Yeah.
Something. Austin, go to dinner with me. You're like one of my best friends. But it was funny because when he went out to meet y'all at the front door, I heard you say, were you asleep? because all the lights
Yeah.
were off.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, man." I was like laying.
Well, because the
down,
whole
whatever.
day, his story was basically that like he kept like he was going to go do what we were doing, and then kept bailing, and so it was just like, damn, all right. I mean, I guess he doesn't want to hang out, like whatever.
like happy 36th, man.
yeah,
Fucking
totally.
ditching me all day.
Yeah, that's kind of a not a shitty way, but it's like one of those like, I'm gonna go the long con by being a terrible friend on your birthday, pretty much.
That's a long con.
Yeah, no, it totally is.
Multiple parties. The other thing that was funny is Randy got pretty lit at Coyotes. He
Yeah.
walked in and he goes, "I just got drunk at Coyotes." And you could just tell like he was in some fish heaven.
Yeah.
Like, he's just eating that shit
Oh
up.
yeah, I'd had like 3 drinks when we got there, and so it was just kind of like, this is gonna be rough.
It turned out to be a really good night,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, no, it was
there were
great.
so many people there, and I was so happy to be invited and happy to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
And the food was great. That cake, man.
Oh, dude, the cake was incredible.
Okay, I don't know. Is it Aubrey or Audrey? Aubrey?
It's Aubrey, and I don't know her friend that she bakes with.
Okay.
But yeah, they've been baking cakes, and they're kind of incredible.
That was not only my first surprise party, but my first fancy, beautiful cake ever.
Yeah.
Ever. It wasn't the sheet cake
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the buttercream
yeah.
Or the Walmart cake with the terrible happy birthday on it or something.
or the picture.
Oh
Or-
yeah.
Or a cookie cake.
Yeah.
No, she's a list maker. My wife like is definitely like, okay, here's the objectives. We're going to fulfill all of them to the letter that they were proposed at.
Right.
So, yeah, no, it's like, I'm not like I say I'm surprised because she's bad at lying, like especially to like people she cares about. But when it comes to the actual execution of an operation, it's like, oh yeah, she'll do a fantastic job.
Flawless.
Dude, it was fun. It was a great party. And I have to say, it's no secret. You enjoy finer things. We all know this. We all celebrate this.
Yes, yeah.
That cake was a finer thing,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Like, it was fucking awesome.
I missed the cake. What kind of cake was it? I saw there was like blueberries on top of it or something.
It was blackberry.
Blackberry.
And then I don't know, probably a cream cake with like a blackberry icing.
There was cream inside. I had some bites of it.
Mhm.
Erica got a slice, and I had several bites of it, probably half the slice. And I couldn't tell you what was in it. It just tasted wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm not really a sweetsman,
Yeah,
but man, I fucking indulged on that cake.
I'm not either, but like berries, man. Like that's
Yeah.
I fall for berries.
I fall for berries, man. I'm a berryman.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for berries.
So speaking of surprise parties, again,
Uh-huh.
first one I've ever been to, super fun. I felt joy. Like, I felt the joy when I saw your face and I saw everybody happy to surprise you.
Yeah,
It was a feeling that I haven't felt
no,
in
yeah.
in that regard.
It's like electric. I'm making air quotes, but it's like, yeah, it's totally electric.
It was so electric you could hear the wind off those air quotes.
Yeah.
So you've never had a surprise party?
I've never been thrown a surprise party,
Uh-huh.
and I don't think that I've ever been to one. As far as I can remember. Have you had or
Yes,
been to?
I've both. Yeah, my 25th birthday was at the now defunct Sidecar, which is now the Drunken Fry.
Uh-huh.
And there was a long con, one of those like long con days where it's like the girl I was with at the time was doing that whole, yeah, let's just go get a drink at the Sidecar and then we'll go to dinner. I'm like, sounds like a fucking
Yeah, this is
lame,
a similar scenario. Yeah.
lame birthday.
Something low key.
Yeah, something low key. And we go inside and lo and behold, the whole fucking bar is basically for my party.
That's
It was a small bar,
yeah.
but it was awesome. There was cookie cake in that little booth.
Not
We-
a fine cake.
No, it was good.
It was fine.
I think it was
Yeah, there's-
I think it was made by
There's
the
little
girls.
to complain about a
No.
cookie cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, cookie cake is the shit. But yeah, I was thoroughly surprised, and everyone there was having a great time. I think the thing with surprise parties, like, everyone enjoys it. You know?
Oh,
It just
yeah.
kind of amps up the atmosphere a little bit when you know you're going to surprise someone.
Yeah.
and they come in.
surprised.
Yeah.
Well, there's this thrill of not being the one that fucked it up too.
Yeah.
Like that's like part of it. It's like
Yeah.
when you get there early enough and like you actually surprise the person.
Yeah.
You're like, I didn't fuck this
Well,
up.
that's the thing. It's the
Taylor Vincent.
parking situation. Yeah.
Just kidding. He didn't. We were just, I
No,
was
he
ribbing
didn't.
him about it, but he totally didn't. It was great.
He tied a few on, I think,
You
before he got there, too.
Josh is obsessed with starting a fight with Taylor Vincent.
We're
He told me
homies.
right before this started, he was like, it was my goal tonight to surprise him with the
Taylor,
duel.
you were a drunk ass and a buffoon. I'm joking. You were lovely and sweet.
He's a wonderful
He's a
man.
fascist on the internet, but
Yeah, sometimes you got to take a stand sometimes, you know?
you do.
I like this. This is a surprise for me.
He's good, too.
So yeah, okay. So
He's
I
yeah.
was, whatever. Moving on.
Yeah,
No.
moving on.
What is this? The Taylor Vincent hour? Anyways, I was thinking about
Love you, Big Tay.
when was the last time I was truly surprised?
Feeding
And
test.
I had to think long and hard about it. And it's been a while. And I asked both of you kind of,
Mhm.
you know, you've been surprised recently, Atlee.
Yeah.
When's the last time you've been surprised, or a time in your life when you've truly been surprised?
Man,
Was this question surprising?
very surprising. Now, well, honestly, the news we got from Mr. Riley, that was pretty fucking surprising.
That is surprising. It's gonna be fun. That's a surprise. Did I tell you about that?
I don't think so. What?
We are about to move into the Paramount building, and
Oh,
we're going to be
nice.
doing our podcast out of there, thanks to Patrick from the Lost Ogle.
That's awesome.
That was just
Yeah.
a real nice
That
surprise.
was a real nice surprise. That just kind of came out of nowhere. But this is probably, I think I said this last episode, but I think this is probably going to be our last episode.
This is definitely
here.
the last one.
Is it?
We're
Okay.
gonna be moved in this weekend. Hopefully, fingers fucking crossed. When was the last time you were surprised, Rob?
I'm going to be honest. I thought about this, and I don't really get surprised that often. But I would say the last time I was surprised is when I started working with you guys. Because like just out of the whole thing just kind of happening, you know, it was surprising. I tried. So it wasn't as surprising as just a legitimate, holy shit, this just happened, you know. But it was surprising that it turned out that way.
Yeah.
But looking back before that, man, I haven't been surprised in a long time. And I think that that's my own fault.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like I'm a little too analytical and a little too want to know the details, want to know the plan.
Yeah.
And I think it's bitten me in the ass.
Well, I think like as an adult, we get surprised like a lot, but it's like these days, it's like your dryer failing or
Yeah.
like, or
They're not good surprises.
No, they're like I kind of want to throw up or just like scream and run out of the room.
Oh,
kind
the
of surprises.
dog pissed on the fridge. That's cool.
Yeah.
What, the dog pissed on the fridge?
My dog pisses on my fridge sometimes.
That's a tall dog. Did it
Yeah.
like
No, like on the the bottom corner. I don't know what
just
it is, man.
sprays?
He
Like
did,
a cat?
It's like a mark. It's like going.
That's
It's like
weird.
he's an asshole.
Oh, I got a surprise.
Uh-huh.
I got
Okay.
a surprise. I got a surprise last Wednesday. And it was a surprise for my insurance agency.
Nice.
And
Oh, yeah.
it was a surprise that came in the mail. The best kind of surprise. And I opened it up and it said, "We sent a scout by your property and we noticed some vines growing on your house. And if you don't get rid of those vines by October 20th, we are going to cut your insurance
Oh my
coverage
God.
completely.
Yeah.
And like issue you a refund for the rest of what you paid and drop your coverage." And I called up my local farmer's agent and I said, "Steve, man, like, what the fuck is this?" Like, dude, I've been with you since I was 15. You know,
Yeah.
car insurance,
Mhm.
driver's permit, all that shit. And he said, "Oh, Robbie, I'm so sorry." He's like, "They're really cracking down because of all the tornadoes and all the ice damage.
Yeah.
They're just trying to uninsure people." He's like, "It wasn't from my office. It's the national entity coming around
Yeah,
and doing this, sending out
The fat
lackeys."
cats. The insurance fat cats.
No, they're not even the fat cats, the low man on the totem
Oh,
pole
yeah?
that were hired by the fat cats.
Right. Yeah.
So I get this letter, and I call him and he's like, "Don't worry." He was like, don't worry too much. He's like, I think I can fix it. And he said, "But you're gonna have to pull the vines down." So Saturday, before your surprise party,
Yeah.
I surprised my back and my arms with a lot of pain.
Yeah.
I was up on a fucking ladder. These vines, it was like some H.P. Lovecraft shit,
Yeah.
dude, taking over the house. Driving by, I was like, "Oh, those are pretty. Some
Yeah.
nice, beautiful trumpet vines that attract hummingbirds and all
Mhm.
that." And I was like, okay, so I went to Ace and I got like the shears
Yeah.
and some gloves because my old ones had a huge hole in them. And I was like, "This ain't gonna be so bad. I'm just gonna like prepare and I'm gonna go
Sure.
out there and I'm gonna do this." About 5 minutes in, I was like, "Fuck this. This
Yeah.
sucks." It took me 5.5 hours
Oh
to
my
get all
Fuck
these.
that, man.
5.5 hours of arms above the head, pulling these vines with all of my strength because
Yeah.
they were stuck to my house so hardcore.
Oh yeah. They're like totally insidious. Like
It was
they get
insane,
crazy.
dude. Those big contractor bags, like the
Mhm.
big body bag, trash bags, I filled up 3.5 of those, and I still have a pile back there that I haven't got to
Oh
yet.
God. Yeah.
So there's a surprise
Yeah.
for you.
No, totally. I had a similar thing lately when I went to tag a car that I bought last year. I bought it in like December, And I was like, when was that? It was like, oh, I guess it was like 4 days before Christmas. And so, you just are like kind of insane that time of the year. You're kind of like, there's a lot of overwhelming, weird stuff going on. And so it's just like, we got the paper signed and then we did it at the bank. So it seemed super legit and like, okay, cool. That's done. Let's go do all the crap we have to do for the next 5 days. But I never registered the title. And I didn't find this out until I was 2 or 3 months late on my tag. And you call and they're like, what's your name? And like, oh, that's not the name on this. And like, oh my God. And yeah, it was like $1,000 just kind of like, whoop. Like,
surprise.
Like, here you go. Like, you cannot afford this.
Did you have to like pay retroactively on this?
Yeah. So it's like, and I was being charged like $2 a day or something since like, yeah. And I'm sure it capped at some point. Yeah. But yeah, it was definitely like, that was about as surprising as that surprise party, only it was in the way where you're just like, I want to throw up. And like, I'm kind of terrified.
Surprising your bank account with $1,000 less in it.
Yeah. Like immediately with no warning.
It's so funny you bring that up about the adult surprises, because not once did I think about that, like bad surprises.
Yeah.
But it's so true. Like as we get older, I think there's probably like some sliding scale. It's like, surprise, I have cancer.
Yeah.
Right? Or surprise, I can't remember anything.
Yeah, like the life crippling, like I need to think about this for 3 weeks in my house alone kind of surprise.
Yeah. Like surprise, I'm not going to tell anyone until I die.
I need to stare into the abyss and cry for days.
Dude, the one that's common is, and it's becoming more and more frequent surprises is, hey, surprise, you have a pain that's not going to go away.
Oh, yeah.
Like shoulder pain. No matter what the fuck I do, it's there. And it's like, God damn it, man. Like, I was listening to the new Kyle Kinane album, and he had a joke about that. Like, I went to the doctor, and my doctor's my age, and that's really kind of weird. He's talking like, how are you a doctor? We're the same age. Like, you like a Doogie Howser or something? Like, no, I'm 39. Yeah, I'm a goddamn, I'm a kid. No,
yeah.
I'm 40 years old. Like, I'm knocking on 40. Everything's gonna just continue to hurt.
That's the grim reality of growing up is, and would I've ever thought that we'd be sitting here right now talking about pain, body pain, but there's a surprise.
Yeah.
We're all getting old. Surprise.
But it shouldn't have been.
Dude, my left shoulder, my rotator cuff, I believe is what it's called. Listen to this.
What?
You should pronounce.
It's been doing that for like 2 years, and in the last 6 months, hurts every day.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do about it.
Got no doctor?
Yes. He did that, but a lot harder.
And let me get to do the
and
classic.
Then he was like, oh, that seems
don't
serious.
do that.
Yeah, he goes, well, just don't try to bend it back. And I was like, I have to reach for things. I'm not going to walk around with my arm in a fucking sling. Like, what the fuck?
Just don't use that arm.
And I know it's like the Louis C.K. or the Kyle Kinane thing, but it's true. It's like, well, okay, now my feet hurt every time it rains. And that's just the way it's going to be from here on out.
Until the next fun surprise comes.
That probably will take your mind off that pain somehow.
Yeah, well, that's another pain.
Does that ever happen to you? Like, I'll feel something bad in my body, maybe a joint or my stomach or something, and I'll kind of stew on it for a while. I'm like, man, I'm going to go to the doctor. I'm like, this isn't getting better. And then something else surprises you, and that goes away.
And like magically disappears.
Yeah. Like, oh, this is far worse than that one. Maybe I should check out that one.
Fucking sucks. But yeah, anyways, had I thought, in my early 20s that I'd be sitting around talking about my shoulder hurting, I'd have been like, God, just go ahead and die already. You useless man, you.
But when you were in your early 20s, could you imagine being 35 years old?
When I was younger than that, my dad was 32. I remember his 32nd birthday. It was not a surprise party. Mm-hmm. But I remember just thinking, God, my dad's old. He's so old.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm almost 4 years older than that. And I'm like, oh, my God, my dad was so young back then.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
If I could be 32 again, if I could be 30 again.
I just barely remember my parents having an age with a 2 in it. Just like barely.
It was like 28, 29.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that it kind of equal parts makes me feel like, gives me a revelation about being older or whatever, and then the other half of me just makes me feel like a really childish person.
Totally.
Yeah, like an extremely childish person.
Like I should be doing more. Like, I'm 34. I was doing that took out the dogs this morning, and I was just watching them take a shit, and I was like, that's fucking gross. And like just flipping through my phone, and the thought hit my head because I got a text message from my mom asking if I was going to take my nephew to trick or treat. I go, my nephew's 6 years old. Means my brother was 30. Fuck. I'm 34. I don't have kids, and I act like my fucking nephew. Like, you know?
Yeah. You
We
ask your
enjoyed
mom to ask somebody
Hey,
to take you trick or
Can I
treating.
go trick or treating? Yeah, pretty much.
Atlee, I totally think about that all the time, though. It's like, okay, I pay my bills on time, but you know what? I've done that since I was 18. Like, I've pretty much never been a fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, we've faltered here and there.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But
we have our days.
Yeah, but overall, it's like I'm kind of just trucking along like I always have been. I've got a few nice things. I'm not starving, but I'm like, shouldn't I like be wearing a suit and like some little gold round glasses?
Oh yeah, man. We've gone to as you do in your mid-30s, you end up going to some pretty fancy weddings and stuff like that are very like dignified affairs and very like adult people. And I have had that revelation a couple of times at like a table or something like that where you're just like, oh man, I feel kind of like a kid at this table. It's kind of weird because like I think everyone is my same age, but like, ooh boy, like I'm definitely not shaping the life of a human being. You know?
Yeah, I'm sitting there in my fucking Chuck Taylors.
Yeah.
And like
they're comfortable.
like an ill-fitting suit jacket.
Yeah, it's like I pulled the fancy clothes that I wear 3 times a year out of the hole that they're in, basically.
It's a funeral / wedding / graduation outfit.
Yeah.
Like,
and dusted the cat hair off the shoulders, lint rolled it,
threw
it
the dryer for a few minutes, you know, put it together.
Took the fucking bar napkin out of the pocket from like 2 years ago. I was like, oh yeah, I remember when they got married. It says right here.
yeah. And you find like some money, like a $1 bill or something. Oh, there's some quarters in here, I guess.
Dude, I think about that so often. Like, okay, so we're all in the line of work where we can kind of wear what we want. We're kind of t-shirt. I would say all 3 of us are pretty much like t-shirt and jeans kind of guys.
Right.
You know, none of us are scraggly and disgusting, but none of us are like suit and tie wearing.
Self-respecting,
guys.
but
yeah, like we're clean.
Yeah,
we're somewhat clean.
Yeah,
but it's like I talk about that with Erica all the time. I'm like, I'd really like to dress like a Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah,
or like what's his name? The dude from Parks and Rec, Leslie Knope's boyfriend.
Oh,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott's character.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just that nice, clean, just like you just walked out of a Banana Republic all the time. But I just don't. I just don't.
A nice, like, dudes like that make, like, I love suits. If I ever get a chance to wear them, I do. But dudes like Adam Scott make suits look fucking great.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a body like that, suits look fucking weird.
Yeah.
On pretty much everybody, but dudes like Adam Scott.
I look like Chris Christie in a suit. Like, it is not pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It looks like a smock. It's like,
the jacket never fits right.
I bought this to cleverly disguise myself behind a curtain the whole time I'm at this event.
Dude, totally. Like I either like, first of all, I've never had a suit that fits well because I'm cheap when it comes to clothes. But if I do have a
Off
suit,
the rack.
I look like either Steve Harvey, like it's just way too long and big zoot suit pants, or what's the guy from Talking Heads? Big suit in the 80s.
Yeah.
David Byrne?
Yeah, David Byrne's like big shoulder suits.
Yeah, like it's like, which is funny. It reminds me, this isn't a surprise reference, but so Matt Street, our biggest fan, one of our best friends, he and I worked at a rug making shop in Austin.
Okay.
And he submitted a film to the Howard Stern Film Festival and won. Like,
oh, wow.
I think he won 3rd place or something like that. He didn't win the grand prize, or maybe he did. I think maybe he was like the 1st or 2nd runner up. They fly him out to New York. They go to this like, I don't know, this like big theater. Stern is there. They're handing out awards. He still has like his award. It's this huge gratuitous thing.
Yeah.
And man, I'll tell you the story off the air. It's a really funny story, but he didn't have a suit. Now, granted, at the time we were 22, 23.
Yeah, totally reasonable.
Yeah.
To not have a suit.
Probably still doesn't have a suit, much like us. Maybe he does. Matt's
got a suit.
Maybe
He has the look of a man that has a suit.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Do you have a suit?
Yeah.
You have a suit? Do you have a suit? Like an actual matching
I
suit?
I do own a suit, and I don't like it anymore. And it's like,
I want to drop coin and get a nice one.
I want like a fucking Brian Jones like pink or blue velour, like an Austin Powers, basically.
Dude, I want
modernized Austin Powers.
Modernized. That would be pretty dope.
It would be.
I like like Michael McDowell,
Andy McDowell,
the British actor who was in Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, that's Michael McDowell.
the kind of suits he used to wear back in the day with like the pinstriped and then like the Chelsea boots, that kind of shit would be rad.
It's a good look.
But it doesn't work on dudes who look like me.
Yeah. Let me go back to Matt real quick.
Yeah, Matt Street. So he bought a burn suit?
No. Close. Our boss at the time was like, hey, man, I've got a whole closet full of suits. He was a rich guy.
Oh,
That
boy.
would probably have thrown like a very illustrious wedding.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I got a bunch of suits. Come to the house. He's like, we're about the same size. I've got some that are, that I've grown out of. And Matt comes home with this suit and he tries it on. And man, like, have you seen that episode of The Office where Michael Scott's wearing the woman's suit?
Yeah.
And he like opens the jacket and there's a pink liner.
Yeah.
I forget the brand name, but it's something like La Femme or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. It was kind of like that, but then dash in a little of that David Byrne. They had
He was wearing
yeah.
a woman's suit.
it wasn't a woman's, but it was just very 80s.
Okay.
Very 80s shoulder pads, very pointy, kind of like a Grace Jones look.
Oh, boy.
Not workable.
Yeah. And he like tried it on and he came out, he's like, because he was leaving like the next day to go to New York or a couple days or whatever. And he comes out and he's like, Rob, we were roommates at the time. He's like, Rob, does this look okay on me? And I just go, dude, no, that's fucking, I'm not going to let you go to New York in that.
No.
Here's $1,000. No, I didn't
No.
know, but I was like, dude, no. And he ended up buying a replacement suit.
Just like completely unacceptable.
It was bad.
Well, yeah, I always do the flash, like, let's go shop for this.
Yeah.
And then that never goes. That's terrible.
No, because you never find why it's like you said, you end up getting a mismatch thing. Like, okay, these pants are blue. They're the only nice pants I could find. They're in my size. I found a jacket, but it's plaid. Am I gonna wear a plaid jacket? And fuck, goddamn. Okay, I'm just gonna wear a tie and a shirt and a sweater or something.
Yeah.
and it's 98 degrees outside.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna wear a tie, but I'm gonna roll the sleeves up, kind of keep it semi-cash.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've been like at the job site all day or something.
I thought about that the other day. Like, going for job interviews when you were like in your late teens, early 20s, but you wanted to look nice, so you wore like dress pants, quote, but they weren't really. They're casual dress and like Steve Madden tennis shoe kind of.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
weird like leather monstrosities.
Yeah.
And you wear a button-up shirt, but you roll the sleeves up because you're still fucking punk.
Yeah.
And you don't tuck your shirt in. Like, who the fuck goes to job interviews? Like, and I did it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Every 24-year-old guy.
And that was me like dressing up.
Yeah. And then you sit there like sweating and like
Just, like,
nervously
pick
answering
stands, yeah.
questions. Like, surely they're going to hire me for this.
I'm a shoe-in.
I'm a shoe-in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
I'm just
blue
a
and black
nervous-
hair, they're definitely going to want me at this
I'm a
office
nervous,
job.
sweaty weirdo in ill-fitting clothes. Like, why wouldn't they hire me?
They hired us out of pity. Like,
Yeah.
This
Oh,
dude
yeah.
needs a shirt that fucking fits and some fucking deodorant.
This ain't
Well,
going
yeah,
on.
either that or it's just like a meat grinder, and it's just like, I don't even care.
Yeah,
You know,
the
like,
turnover is so quick. It's like,
Have you killed anyone?
Yeah.
No. Great, you're qualified.
Yeah,
Like,
you're in.
You
That's what I
start
was about to
tomorrow.
say. They turn over the application to make sure there's no ink on the back.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
all right, this is just a formality.
Yeah.
You're hired. Welcome to Brahms. But dude, the other thing about dressing nice and like I said, like if I had money and time, okay, those are the two things. But the third thing is if it just didn't make me so fucking uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a sweater. I sweat.
Yep.
It
me
could be
too.
the middle of winter. I'm in like, some light jeans and like a hoodie and a t-shirt and I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Or summer, I'm in shorts, I'm in air conditioning and I'm just hot
Oh,
all
yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
And a tie, fuck that. It's like the hottest, it's like a hot snake around your neck.
Yeah.
Just keeping the heat in.
Yeah.
It's a, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's just like a tiny scarf. It's just like
That's my thing. Like,
It
why,
truly is.
Yeah.
why is that a thing that people do? Like, you got to wear this piece of fabric around your neck. Why? And you have to tie it in a certain knot.
It's a strange
they,
thing.
they do look pretty cool.
They look cool, but
Yeah.
they serve absolutely no purpose.
Oh, yeah,
or
of course.
function.
I thought by now there'd be like these cool like electric ties that like light up behind like Back to the Future type shit.
Or like the double tie from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Was there a double tie?
Marty- there's a double
Old Marty
tie.
McFly had a double like rising sun tie.
Yeah, he
So-
has like a bar, and then they both hang from the sides of the bar or
Mhm.
whatever. It's a double tie.
Whoa! I'm gonna have to Google this.
That is really like a writer's room thing where they'd like, we need 25 futuristic things in the next 15 minutes.
Go.
It's like, what do you got? Like, oh yeah, double ties. We're gonna wear double ties.
Self-lacing shoes.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
The cool hat that had like the holographic kind of Kanye West looking
Yeah.
shit on
How
top.
about a hoverboard? Great. What do
Loving
you,
it.
Thompson, what do you got? 2 ties. Fuck you, Thompson. Put it on the list.
Yeah.
Neon sunglasses, but get this. One side is round, the other side's a triangle.
And then I'll tell you what, we can market those and sell them at Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Because I had a fucking
I owned
Yeah.
all them shits. Like they were pretty desirable.
Let me ask you this, did you ever sport them and try to maybe make them work as a
definitely.
dumb kid?
Sure.
Yes, okay.
Yes. It's not like I just had like a bevy of sunglasses available, you know? It's like,
No, whatever you can get. Or the sunglasses that were like chrome on the front and had like something written on them, like California or like, I don't know, Huntington Beach or
Like,
something like written on it.
things you would buy from like a Chinese kiosk in the mall.
Yeah.
That nowadays you're like, oh, that's terrible.
That is
Why-
terrible, yeah.
Why does anybody spend
When
money
you're a
on
kid,
this?
that's going to look great with my jams
Oh, yeah.
and my Panama Jack t-shirt.
Eric and I were at the mall last night, and there are kids at the mall, which I don't see young kids very often.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
it's
talking
rare.
like 16 to drinking age. You don't usually see that.
No.
You see babies, you
Yeah.
see children because they have to be with an adult, but you don't see that
Teens.
16 to 18 to 21.
Your typical mall rat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's what we did at that age, and it was 2 girls and a guy, and the guy was like kind of like G'd out, like this, like scrawny, like a little white dude.
Yeah.
And he had this backwards hat on that was like cocked terribly. And on the back, it said, "Fuck you, I'm hustling." With a
Nice.
dollar sign, of course,
Yeah.
for the S.
Flawless.
Which he probably bought at a kiosk at the mall.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without
or
a
the
doubt.
state fair.
Or the fair.
Oh, maybe it did
It-
look pretty new.
It was
Yeah.
probably a fair one.
But I thought, my first thought was like, damn kids, my shoulder hurts. But my second thought, after I thought about it for a minute, I was like, man, that kid's just doing what we all did. Like, I drew a fucking anarchy sign
Yeah.
on my t-shirt,
Yeah.
snuck out of the house
mean,
with it under my...
To this day, from early childhood to now, and we've talked about this a couple of times, literally my favorite thing in the world is anything that offends old white people. And so, I mean, that is really like, and I mean, whatever. The point is that it's like, it's usually your favorite shit is that kind of shit. It's like, it's the stuff that's just kind of like, this is clearly just to offend middle American, calm, normal people. Like that is literally
Right.
the purpose of this exercise.
I get off on that, dude.
Yeah.
Like the shirt I'm wearing right now, it says trans on it, and I've had somebody scream, fucking tranny, at me. Do I look like a transsexual?
Gold. Those are the best moments.
Yeah, like just a dude driving by in a monster, equipped pickup truck.
Yeah.
With some sort of paraphernalia
Yeah.
on it.
Like a monster rat pretty much all over it, right?
Might as well have been. Just anything. It might as well be a fucking neon flashing
Sure,
sign.
sure,
It was
sure.
terrible.
Yeah.
But I love that. And Erica sometimes calls them my perv shirts. Like I'll wear a shirt with like boobs on it or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I have a really cool shirt. Remember the old company War Paint Clothing?
Oh, yeah.
Had like a coven of witches on it.
Yeah.
They're all naked and you can see their bush and their boobs. And that was one of the perv shirts.
Yeah, the pervy shirt. Yeah.
But I wore it in public because I loved going to Golden Corral in it.
Yeah.
I just loved freaking out the squares, man, in
Yeah.
my little bitty ways,
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, fuck you, I'm hustling.
Which, this guy and you weren't that different.
No, it's
He's
fine.
just freaking out the old man with hurt shoulders. That's all it is.
And then eventually he's going to be an old man and he's going to be wearing the "Fuck You, I'm Hustling" shirt faced forward and like a whatever grandpas wear.
What do grandpas wear, Josh?
I don't know. Well, nowadays, it's like a Sansa pair of pants, hush puppies, and usually a polo shirt of some sort. But are we going to continue wearing the same thing when we're like 60? Are you going to be wearing an Against Me t-shirt when you're 60?
Probably. I'll
70.
probably be wearing a black t-shirt and jeans.
But
Yeah.
you look around and you see old folk, and they didn't dress like that in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, they did, because back then, you got to think, going back in time, guys cared a little more about what they looked like. They wore the hats and it was like think of Mad Men.
Okay.
They definitely own suits.
Yes, many that fit well.
Yes.
Yeah, but now they're not wearing suits. They're wearing like terrible jeans, like
Are you talking about old men's jeans?
old men's jeans and like those dumbass old men. My dad wears one. It's it would be an Indiana Jones hat if it didn't have a strap on it and mesh around this.
Like
it's
a Panama jacket.
Yeah, like a Panama jacket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my dad owns a Panama jacket. It's like leather. It's like dark brown leather.
Yeah, and I look at my dad and I go, You used to be cool at one point in time.
No, he didn't, Josh. I'm going to surprise, your dad was never cool. Neither was my dad.
He was pretty cool. He rode motorcycles and
we are kind of
boat
like,
and what have you.
Like our kind of generation, maybe a few years older than us, is like the first generation to have at least like possibly boomer counterculture parents.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I do notice now it is a hell of a lot more common to have a grandfather that looks kind of probably like he did when he was about 35.
Okay.
Because it does seem a little more prevalent, at least these days, where it's like, I mean, my dad is like definitely reaching, I mean, I think he is technically a grandparent. So, anyway.
Wait, do you have a surprise for us tonight?
No,
just kidding.
no. This was definitely not my work, you know. But
something happened after the birthday party you want to tell us about?
But yeah, I mean, he's basically just wears like a rock and roll gear t-shirt and jeans pretty much every day. I mean, he teaches school, so I mean, he wears, you know, business casual wear, but like that's pretty much just all he wears.
My favorite old man is the old man that still has a kind of a pompadour, but it's gray and kind of thin, and they wear a pearl snap tucked into like some jeans, like 501s, and they still cuff them, and they wear like black boots.
The gentleman cowboy.
Well, but almost kind of like rockabilly.
Yeah.
Take the boots off and put on like some New Balance, and that's my grandfather.
Yeah.
With the tall white socks. Mm-hmm. But from the ankles up, you just described my grandpa.
Yeah.
Like completely. Like old hardtack 501 still that like they're old as fuck, but they're still perfect.
Yeah,
and
they're
like
shellacked under years of starch.
Years of my grandma just toiling away.
Yeah, they're basically plastic by now.
Starch.
Yeah.
Like a fart would just shoot out of the legs of those like a rifle, you know?
Yeah, like a potato gun. Yeah, my grandfather was a denim on denim man. Like
it's a good look.
It's a great look.
It is. It ages very well.
If you can pull it off, you know, you either look austere in a grandfatherly way or you look like Charles Manson. Like it's one of the two.
Yeah.
I tried the double denim for a while, like the dark what are they called? Raw denim jeans. And then like the lighter, softer, like nice fitting, like Gap jean shirt.
Yeah.
Double denim, like some boots. And I just realized I look like a fucking idiot in it. Like, because I didn't look cool in it.
Yeah.
Some people do. And that person is not me, like at all. Speaking of looking cool, you know, I want to go. So this theme of this, besides surprises, is, you know, talking about kind of how we got to where we were.
Sure.
And the three of us go pretty far back in a certain scene.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And I know we might have talked about this, you know, ad nauseum between us, but Josh and I went to, what was it, Nick Stock?
Yes, Nick Stock.
In the basement of the Frontline. Well, I guess, is it a Frontline church now?
Well, now it would be Frontline. At the time, it was City Church.
City Church.
And there was a little band there, but went by the name of Lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a certain bass player that went by the name of Atlee.
Yeah.
I believe you were playing an RD bass.
Yeah, an RD
perhaps?
artist.
Yes.
I had a black RD artist bass.
And you were rocking a pretty sweet butt cut.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe like a tie, like some sort of
that probably sounds about right, too. Some terrible, ironic 90s
like
clothing.
tacky suit or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, I just went to the thrift store.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
No, did you wear two ties or just one?
No, just one.
Okay.
Just single tie.
Going back to that, though, I remember Josh and I got dropped off there, and there was like you know, I didn't go to a lot of concerts when I was a kid. I wouldn't say sheltered, but somewhat sheltered. I was lean-toed as a kid.
Right, yeah.
And we go into that. I remember seeing Lockdown and thinking you were so cool. So cool, dude, because you had this low slung bass, and I was like, that's the same bass that Twiggy Ramirez plays in Marilyn Manson. And I just thought that was cool, and I liked the band. And actually, I think I had just met the singer Tracy, a week or so
Tracy
before.
Street. Yeah,
I think that's one of the reasons we went. I was like, hey, I know a guy. He told me to come to this, so let's get our
that totally is.
parents to drop us off, you know, with $3 or whatever it was. And I just remember being like, dude, that bass player, dude, like he's dressed like Stone Temple Pilots. He looks cool as fuck.
Yeah, that's a pretty good DeLeo Brothers like thrift.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a scene.
Yeah.
Dude. That's a whole genre of clothing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Another genre of clothing I wish I had I wish I had that heroin chic body to pull off, like a super thin, not silk, but you know what I mean, like almost a see-through butterfly collared shirt tucked into some like
I call it old Lucas is what I call it.
Oh vintage Lucas. Yes.
We talked about it the other day on our walk at work. Leather pants. Like I wish I could pull those off, but you can't.
But then you just be wearing them and be like, God damn it, I'm wearing leather
I'm
pants.
not on stage at a fucking arena rock show.
You're not fucking Jim Morrison. This
not
sucks.
Jim Morrison.
I'm sitting in an office chair farting into these.
Yeah.
And those farts don't go anywhere.
No, they stay right there. in
Yeah,
the
and just
hot,
sweating your ass
sweaty.
off. No, that church had a donation bin.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where all the clothes came from.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's tight.
And so, yeah, there's like,
So
man.
you on the spot. You did it on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Liz has pictures of me and Brian wearing those suits.
Fuck yeah.
So you
Yeah.
didn't show up in that.
No, they had a donation box, and we
Mhm.
were there for like out. You know, you go to these things, and it's like parents drop you off at noon with your gear or whatever, and then you're there until 10 o'clock at night or
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, we rummaging around, we found these huge donation bins, and they were just full of like the worst clothes. Like the worst clothes.
I thought it was a highly curated look. Honestly, at the time,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I was like taking notes. I was like, this guy's got it together. Okay.
Yeah.
Lime green jacket, purple
Yeah.
shoes,
Yeah,
and
gotta
blue
get one of
trousers.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
That's what
awesome.
I'm doing.
Well, it was funny because like fast forward like, oh man, probably 10 years. It's like, so this is when I was living in Midwest City, and me and Brian were like running the business or whatever. And so we used to go get boxes behind what would that be? Basically Uptown Thrift or whatever, that strip of stores.
Yeah.
And so there was like by the Hallmark and everything, there was like a sweet spot dumpster because we were running a business. We needed shipping boxes. So we would just like look for bulk cardboard, and we had this Suburban. This sounds so Sanford and Sons, but we had this Suburban, and we would just like load it up with cardboard boxes. And we do this like every day. Well, behind the Western wear store, like Justin's or whatever.
Langston's.
Langston's.
Oh, yeah.
We found like 6 boxes of discarded Western clothes. And it was like cases of them. But it was the worst shit. It was just like neon green and fucking crazy patterns. Just like god awful.
Probably some Mo Betta shirts in there.
Not Mo Betta, but like a lot of maybe Chinese versions of that.
knockoff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so anyway,
Bet enough.
right. Yeah. About Betta.
About
Yeah.
Betta.
But so we did take like 3 boxes
No Betta.
home, though, and like rummaged through them for a couple
Faux
of days.
Betta.
Faux beta. I like that. So
Sorry.
it was probably like the lowly employee at Langston's was like, well, the Garth Brooks fad has came and
Yeah.
went. I got to zero all this shit out and throw it in a box.
Yeah, a bunch of pocketless women's jeans and stuff like that. Oh yeah, just awful.
Kind of like Matt's
awful.
suit.
Yeah.
It didn't have pockets on the back.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
Dude. Okay, so let's talk about that business for a second, because we've known each other for a long time, and you've mentioned this several times, but we've never really talked about it. So you, for a long time, just bought and sold things. Was it like eBay?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Was
it
this pre-Craigslist type
okay,
deal?
so the synopsis is basically like my best friend in high school, his father had an economics degree, and then he used to work at the local like hi-fi shop. And like he did like mainly a sales guy, and then, you know, did some side tasks and stuff like that. Well, so at some point he just stopped doing that and like started selling stuff through like at the time there's this thing called Bargain Post, and then there was also Audio Mart. And so it was like a national magazine, but it was nothing but classified ads. Kind of like how Vintage Guitar used to be, but
Right.
but yeah, so he just started selling stuff mail order and like hustling, you know, and that's basically all he was doing. He's like flipping cars and selling stuff. And so that RD artist base, that was just like happenstance, something he had. And it was a
Nice.
great deal because he never paid much for anything. And so, so anyway, yeah, like when me and Brian got out of high school and kind of both did miserably in college, we just kind of eventually just transitioned into like selling the rest of this stuff. Because he bought so much that it was like, you've just got to do something with it. And so, me and Brian did that like full time. And then that's where I know Robert from. And he used to do that like part time just to cover the bills and stuff like that. But yeah, we just did that for like 10 years.
But were there things that would come through that you're like, God, I want to keep this. I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
keep this so bad.
Yeah. And the basically the way that would always work out is that you kept the broken stuff and the weird
Okay.
stuff. Cause like, it's the stuff that you have to like, you know, when you're selling something on Craigslist and you have to have like 3 paragraphs about like, okay, this feels like it doesn't work, but if you just kind of turn it the right way, you keep the stuff like that. 'Cause
Right.
It's like you tried selling it 3 times and then you're like, okay, you know.
Because you don't want to sell like a liability where somebody's
Yeah.
like, I
Right.
want my money back, you fucking asshole. So you have like, I'm just imagining like a house full of stuff where you have to kind of wiggle the handle.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah,
It's just
totally.
it's like you're
No.
unlocking everything.
Most of
as
the
you walk
things
around.
I own are like that, basically. And it's like, yeah, you buy things and like, okay, that was cool. I'm going to sell it, and like get my money back, basically. But like, yeah, the stuff that's like, well, I tried to sell it 3 times and the conversations were weird, but I like it. So
That's awesome.
it.
might as well keep it.
Because I love to flip, and I know you like to
Oh,
flip, and I know
love it.
like we have
Yeah.
3 flipsmen here.
Yeah.
I would say 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I might have used to have said Atlee on top, Robbie second, Josh third, but I think the torch has been passed where the the flippy has become the flipper, or whatever. This guy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't agree with everything, but the dude flips. The dude flips some shit.
There's always disputes.
Yeah.
Right. But I have this flipping nature, and I get it from my grandfather, the greaser.
Mhm.
He loves garage sales, auctions,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
swap meets, anything, estate sales. And I do too, but the problem is I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Getting up early sucks.
Well, I've had this thing with like, I've kind of noticed in recent years that I have this thing that I get from my dad. And it's like me and my dad both have this kind of strange desire to just spend a couple of days a week driving around, like just driving around and like making a lot of stops and doing a lot of things and running a lot of errands. But it's just kind of this whole hanging out in the car, talking with people, and then like making stops, and like you just make the stops. And then so did that guy we used to work with, Jeff. He had that same kind of thing where it's just like, yeah, we just drive around all day. We run a bunch of errands. We make a lot of stops. And so, yeah, it is just like this strange, like the 2 feed each other, where it's just like you get your hanging out and running errands, but then you're also like scavenging the whole time.
That's a good feeling. We recently had our carpets in the living room ripped out and wood floors and all blah blah blah. I talked about it a million times, but I had at our job that we all work at together. We often have Fridays off.
Yeah.
And just so happens that Friday is when they were doing like the major work. Like can't walk on this, can't be here.
Yeah.
So I had to get up at 6 a.m. because they were going to be here like 6:15.
Oh, God.
And I had to be gone, but I didn't have to be gone, but I might as well have been gone by the time they got there.
You're just going to be in the way.
Yeah, like I'd either be gone or trapped in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Like a fucking captured person for the whole whatever, captive, captee. Anyway, so I get up at 6 a.m. and I leave, and I have to be gone until 6 p.m.
Ooh,
so
yeah.
I had one of
That's the
those
long
days.
haul.
Dude, I went to every fucking pawn shop and thrift store in like a 15, 20 mile radius. And I know that feeling you're talking about. I just felt good to just run around kind of I don't want to say without a purpose, but without maybe a destination.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
No, it's great. And you get the other thing is like, especially with the sales, is like you just get like for lack of a better term, just like weird voyeurism in it. It's just like this interesting, like,
Oh, yeah.
windows into people's lives kind of thing. But no, like, we got to where the guy I used to work for was so precise and habitual with it. It's like he knew the times between every stop. He knew about how long it should take to go into each place. And so he would like time it, and he had it like super efficient. But it's kind of led to me, like, I'll go to these things with my wife, and like I'm in the building for like 2.5 minutes maybe, or like 2 minutes. It's just like you literally are like, make a lap, like, nope, nothing for me, and like in the car onto the next one.
Mhm.
And it is just such a weird process because you're not really doing a lot. You're actually just kind of like walking and making a loop and then getting back in the car and driving for another 15 minutes and doing it all over again. But yeah, it's a strange, like, for some reason it's really satisfying. I don't know.
Well, because eventually doing those loops, something's going to pop out. You're going to go, how much you want for that?
Yeah, it's like a chasing the dragon thing.
And they'll be like $5 and you go, you're an idiot. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Or I got 3.
Right. Yeah. It's funny because I went to my first estate sale last year, and it was just, we've talked about estate sales and I've thought about going, but I've never really been to one. I mean, okay, when I say first estate sale, I mean like the first one I ever went to on purpose or wasn't there with a relative.
With the intent on maybe buying something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we got up and we actually went to 3 in one day. And man, like you said, glimpse into people's lives.
Yeah.
Dead people's lives.
Oh, yeah.
Especially. But like you go into some of these houses. We went to one that was, man, I couldn't even tell you exactly where it was, but it was in a pretty nice neighborhood. And this house was just a fucking beautiful time capsule of like, speaking of Mad Men, like wood, mid-century, everything. They wanted a pretty penny for it. They weren't giving this shit away, but like you walk and it smelled a certain way. It was lit a certain way. the air had a certain like denseness to it.
It took you back to like being a kid at your grandma's house. Or
kind of, or just pushed me into this world that never existed even more realistically. And yeah, like just the smells, the sounds, the lighting, it was wonderful. But I did the same thing. You just kind of go in, you head on a swivel, make the loop, and then leave.
Yeah, and you accidentally have to make like really aggressive moves with like elderly people, or like that's the other thing is like everybody just acts like an animal, you know? It's like
totally
suddenly really aggressive, and it's like she looks like a really nice grandmother, but like she is really getting pushy.
Or she's like eyeballing that fucking ashtray, and she wants it. She knows it's worth some money. You know?
Yeah, but the other thing, I mean, it's like we're all born and raised here, basically. I mean, so. The thing too about it is just like with all that kind of like the hunt kind of thing, it's all about kind of going just to try to find something like something weird, you know. Totally. I mean, like be somewhere weird, experience a strange event, a strange like transaction, like something, because I mean, just driving around, you probably go to like the same 9 places.
Oh yeah,
like over and over and over and over again.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, there's like a list in the newspaper with a bunch of random addresses on it, and it's like, let's go to these weird places. Like never been there before.
And you experience weird places, weird people.
Oh yeah,
and weird things.
Yeah,
and it's funny because when we started this show, the theme over and over was get out of your comfort zone. Get out into somewhere, do something weird, you know. And that is the true definition of weird, is being in a stranger's house.
Yeah.
Especially if that stranger has just died and there's, you know, the laundry's still in the dryer spinning. Like, it's like they didn't waste no time.
Man, that part creeps Kim out really bad.
Well, yeah, Diana the same way. Like, she's like, there's always cool stuff there, but I kind of feel bad about it. And I guess you kind of can, but man, I've yet to go to a state sale where they seem sad. They seem like this motherfucker left me with all this shit I gotta sell. I don't give a fuck.
Well, and even from like the theoretical standpoint of the dead person, it's like, would you rather your niece throw this away, or would you rather somebody buy it that's at least going to use it? You know? And that's the way I've always looked at it. It's just like, I mean, I know I own a bunch of weird crap, and like my wife doesn't want that weird crap. Most of the people I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the thing. The three of us, like you said earlier, we're the flipping kind. And our wives do know that about us. So if it's in our possession and we haven't sold it yet, it's worth something.
Yeah.
So God forbid we all die tonight. Hey, don't sell our shit. Or don't throw it away.
No, please sell it.
No. Don't throw it away. Sell it. It's almost like you should leave a list of everything you have. Like for insurance purposes, you write down serial numbers, and then like value, and then a little asterisk beside it. Honey, if I die, don't take a penny fucking less than this.
Wait, is this like post-mortem Craigslist?
Yeah.
Like a post-mortem garage sale?
Yeah.
I'll leave you a detailed price list. We'll revise it quarterly.
Right.
It will be adjusted. It will be adjusted for inflation.
Yeah.
If you decide to wait a while and mourn my dead body.
You just leave the business card of a noteworthy appraiser. Like somebody's just like, just call this person. Just have them get this out.
They'll know what to do.
Dude, that is so awesome. I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break. We'll be back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. It reminds me of that Thunder commercial they always play.
What?
Thunder. You know the Oklahoma City Thunder?
We have a team called the Thunder?
We have a basketball team.
Wow, I thought they may have been a foosball team or something.
They're coming back, and I couldn't be more excited.
Oh, yeah.
But they have a song that goes, "Welcome back."
It's like a bumper, a joiner that goes,
okay.
Like, "Welcome back, beer down, 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 down." You don't watch the Thunder.
Yeah.
I don't, so I don't have any. I have no frame of reference.
I'm excited for the season.
I am too. Yeah.
Erica, not so much.
Oh
but,
yeah.
I kind of go into like a hibernation where I just want to watch like 3 to 4 basketball games a week.
Yeah.
During that, and but speaking of things I like to do, this episode is brought to you, not to me,
to the world.
It's kind of brought to me by Anthem Brewing.
AnthemBrewing.com.
Don't cut me off.
Oh fuck you,
Put
man.
the anthem down. You're drunk.
I'm just you're on these anthems, man.
That's their new slogan. Put the anthem down. You're drunk.
I wrote it for them. I'll be invoicing them tomorrow.
Yes.
Nice.
Dad, enough anthems.
Dad, stop beating me.
Oh my God. They don't listen.
My dad.
No.
We're actually testing. What was the one we said the other day? On one of I think it was on the Lacey episode.
Anthem Brewing for straight guys only?
Yeah, it was like for straight men only. Anthem Brewing. Anyways, anthembrewing.com. Gracious guys giving us
Delicious beers.
wonderful beer to wet our whistle. And yeah. So, okay, when we were on our break, I thought of a surprise. And I actually thought of 2 surprises. And I want to just touch on them shortly before we get back into things and eventually wrap this up. Maybe. I have 2 surprises from being a kid, and they both involve motorcycles.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
When I was, maybe 5 years old, classic, come down the hall for Christmas morning, and with a big red bow on it, my dad had bought me a Yamaha YZ Pee-wee motorcycle. And this was like, early 80s. So it was like the classic, like yellow and black with the number 1 on the front. Fat wheels,
It looked like it was designed in the future by people in a far off land.
It was beautiful. And
Robert Zemeckis designed it himself.
I had no idea how to ride it. I was kind of scared of it when I was a kid because first thing I've ever had with a motor in it. And he tied a rope to the back fender, which was all made of metal back then.
Oh, yeah.
And basically ran behind me in the backyard as I learned to ride this and fall over many, many times. And one of the happiest days of my life was when I was 5 years old and this happened because I was like, I'm the dirt bike kid. I'm the kid in the neighborhood with the dirt bike. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a big moment.
That will take you from the biggest nerd to the kid everybody wanted to hang out with. And it's funny how they came sniffing around.
Oh, definitely.
Until the first kid lays over your dirt bike.
Did you ever have like a dirt bike moment where you had the cool thing as a kid? Like in the neighborhood?
Not really.
No?
But yeah, I mean, I had the dirt bike friends. Yeah.
Oh, man. Dirt bike friends.
I'm jealous. I still don't know how to ride a motorcycle. And I was told by a mystic sage of motorcycles one time, like if I didn't learn by the time I turned 30, that's like, she's like, don't fuck with it. If you haven't learned by 30, like, don't, just stay away.
I could totally see that. Though.
Yeah. I completely heed the advice. Like that's where I became like a sports car person. And it's like,
that's where you go.
You know how to do this.
Yeah.
Just stick with this. Because, it's like, you'll just kill yourself.
It's like at this point, I've been driving over half my life. I'm just going to drive something fun every now and then with 4 wheels.
Right. Yeah.
Which I loved riding dirt bikes when I was a kid, but I owned a street bike very briefly.
Yeah.
But I was such a puss that I just rode it around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Never even took it out on a main street.
Yeah,
I crossed a main street.
Yeah, you kind of look at the main street from the next intersection over, like one of these days. Like, I'm gonna go out there.
I'm gonna cross that motherfucker.
Totally.
Yeah.
There's like the Moby Dick of routes.
Yeah.
I'll
have my
one day I'm gonna cross Choctaw Road.
Yeah. But now that I'm older, like one of our buddies, Danny, that we work with, he has a motorcycle, a pretty badass motorcycle, and I walk by it at work sometimes. I'm like I just want to sit on it, and not get how embarrassing would it be if I
comes
had
out of the office Robbie?
Helmet on.
I've got his helmet on, some goggles,
and you're making vroom vroom noises,
and I'm just rocking back and forth on it like a fucking ride out in front of a grocery store. And he's like, Robbie, what the fuck are you doing? And then he takes me for a ride, and I'm like, I got my arms around his muscly waist, and I'm just like, my hair, his hair's blowing in my face as we're going down,
the last time I was on a motorcycle was obviously as a passenger, and it was on a very terrifying fast motorcycle, and we literally went just from intersection to intersection. That there's the road in front of the high school that's just straight shot, And so this guy that was over at my house had just bought a Yamaha R1. So it's probably a 200 mile an hour bike, just a ludicrously fast bike. And so he's like, well, you want to take a ride on it? And it's one of those stupid peer pressure things where you're like, no, I definitely don't, but the longer it goes on, you're like, yeah, okay, I'm probably just being a wimp. I should just get on and check it out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was completely mortifying. It was just so insanely scary, and you realize that this meant your life is in his hands.
Totally,
your life is in his hands. Your life is in his hands.
Man was not meant to be on 2 wheels.
It's pretty scary. Yeah,
it's funny because I've done that a few times too, taking a ride on a friend's motorcycle, and I'm secure in my sexuality.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But there's something kind of funny about seeing two full-grown men on a ninja.
Hugging each other on a neon green ninja.
Basically butt fucking. Like, your dick is rubbing against the dude's upper ass crack and it's vibrating hard.
And you're also kind of scared and hanging on for dear life.
Yes. But then you'll see like the Harley dude with like the bad bitch on the back and she's like checking her phone, not even holding on. And that terrifies me.
Oh, yeah.
Completely scary.
If that comes up next to me driving down the highway, like I will slow down. I'm like, take it, king of the road. Go ahead. Like I will take a back.
Looks like a Final Destination scene. It's like I can see the steel beam that's going to pierce her skull. It's like it's right up there. It's like
I can see the deer running out and just like impaling them both. Oh my god, man. Terrible. My other surprise, again, dirt bike related. So I was probably about 12 or 13, and I had my little Pee-wee bike, and I rode that around, and my dad raced dirt bikes when I was a kid. Like, he got trophies and raced at 59th and Douglas out by the Air Force Base.
It's the Oklahoma tradition.
Oh, man, but now it's gone, and it's so sad. It's just like a fucking airport hangar now or whatever, Tinker hangar, Air Force Base hangar. But he checks me out of school one day, and I thought, oh, fuck, I'm in trouble, or I'm going to get to talk. The parents are getting a divorce or something.
Did my grandfather die?
Something bad.
Yeah.
Like, not a good surprise.
Yeah.
Bad surprise. And he checked me out of school at about noon, and he wouldn't tell me what was going on. And the anxiety was welling up, and I was like, oh, no, Grandpa, no. And he takes me to the house of Kawasaki, walks in, and it was kind of a surprise party of sorts.
Yeah.
Just a party for us two.
Yeah.
And they were like, surprise, your dad bought you this brand new, I want to say it was like a 1994 Kawasaki 80, KX80. Beautiful, awesome. A beautiful engineered, a Japanese engineered machine.
Yeah.
Way too nice.
A big boy bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then not only was the bike there, but they had laid out by the bike like leathers and a chest protector, brand new everything.
Yeah.
Like the dude probably spent a third of the price on the bike on all this like gear, and it was all matching and super fucking 90s and amazing. And I got it, and man, I was so excited, but it was like I was kind of a shrimp when I was younger. And I was kind of scared of it. Like not like I was scared of the Pee-wee bike.
It was taller off the ground.
My feet couldn't touch the ground on either side. I kind of had to lean up on it.
I also had probably a little bit more balls to it.
The thing ran out from under me a couple times.
Yeah.
Like you'd gas it, not knowing what you're doing. And the thing about bikes is so weird. Like the gear shifts on your foot, and it's like 1 down, 4 up, and it's like why not all up? Like what?
Right?
Who fucking engineered this?
Yeah.
Like I don't get this.
Whose wonderful idea was this?
Yeah. And it probably makes total sense to the engineer. But yeah, so I rode it, man. I probably rode it 5 times, and I was like, I think I'm just going to play guitar instead. And I know it was a heartbreaking moment for my dad.
It's a lot of money.
And he probably put it in the fucking newspaper, lost his ass on it,
Yeah.
But that was a big
He
surprise.
also probably told all his buddies at work, at the plant, hey, bought Robbie Jr. back. He's going to love it.
We've never had that feeling because we've never had kids. I mean, we've done it for our wives.
Oh, you mean your son disappointing you?
No, my dad worked at GM, worked at the assembly line, literally worked his fingers till they bled.
Oh yeah,
and bought me this bike, and it was, even at the time, even in '90s money, I mean, it was probably a couple grand, you know, or whatever, and it just sat in the shed, not even the garage, the shed, collecting dust.
It's at least a whole paycheck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he probably showed his buddies the brochure, look what I'm getting, Lil Rob. Oh man, he's gonna be the next superstar.
I do that. I do that with my wife with things she's just uninterested in.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's I'm an obsessive shopper, and it's I'm the kind of person that's we've acquired a target, and now we need to do all this research, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna do that. But it's it's that same kind of maybe that's what that's a proxy for, where it's just it's I see her really enjoying this car, so I've done this research and present the case, and then I spend 5 months obsessing over this ludicrous thing. And all for her to kind of just be yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. And you're I stayed up reading articles for hours and
Yeah.
hours about this car
But
or
yeah,
this blender
In all
or
complete
whatever.
fairness, I would have been doing that anyway.
Yeah.
So,
And that's kind of what I
it gives you a purpose for your madness. It's like, oh no, don't, I'm doing this for someone else. It's like
Totally.
your dad basically just bought a bike.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
And he rode that shit. He probably rode that shit
Yeah.
more
Oh,
than
yeah.
I
Yeah.
did. Like he rode it down to his buddies and drank
Yeah.
beer because he didn't want to ride his.
I wanted to shop for a bike. I already own 3 bikes. So we're going to shop for one for Robbie instead. Like,
And then I just imagine having that like moment as like a young asshole 14-year-old, like, I'm not you, Dad.
Oh.
You can't buy me
Ouch.
this thing. I didn't really say this, but I wish I would have, because I was like, it'd be like me buying Erica a nice guitar.
yeah.
Like I cheaped out and bought her a Squire bass because I was like, man, I kind of want to start like a band with my wife. Like she's cute. She's fun. It'd be kind of fun, like as I'm getting
Yeah.
older, to start
Been
like a band
there.
with the wife.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
Been there.
I'm sure we've all
Oh,
entertained the idea of
Oh,
doing something
absolutely,
like that. So but I didn't do the Rob Senior. I bought her this nice little Squire Jaguar here, which actually is a fun
No,
little bass.
dude.
Yeah, great. But I didn't go buy her like an American standard. It was like,
Yeah.
No.
what was $100 on Amazon?
Honey, I got your Ernie Ball Music Man Stingray.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
Ampeg 810, all tube, all yours.
All tube, all yours.
Yeah, it's funny like that. I think that was the last surprise I had in my adolescence, where it was like, you know, the big bow, the big production, the big checking you out of school, just to be let down 4 months later.
Yeah.
And again, probably lost his ass, like probably paying it off. And
Yeah.
well, I gotta sell this.
It was awesome the day you got the bike, though.
Oh man, it was great.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was awesome when I was sitting in my bedroom and I put my little leathers on and my chest protector and my helmet, and I was like, I went out to the garage or shed and sat on the bike, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be a superstar. And then I started it and pissed myself because I was like,
Yeah.
fuck this,
It's like,
dude.
oh my God, it's scary.
Yeah, like
never
this
mind.
is real.
One
This isn't
thing-
a video game.
One thing that did for you was it showed you don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could have kept riding that Pee-wee around for a while and been like, I want to do, but because of that moment, you knew, I don't want to do this. I think I'm just going to play guitar. And thus started an entire world,
I like to call it a dynasty.
a dynasty.
The Dynasty.
Have you had a moment like that though, where like you were into something when you were young and you had to admit that you didn't want to do that anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Like I can name sports that I played when I was a kid.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
What was your sports growing up? Did you excel at anything? Or?
Oh, no. oh, Lord, no.
No.
No, that's a thing I have with myself all the time where I'm like now that like I remember being like, God, I was probably like 28 or something like that, and I was in this whole like I'm watching sports documentaries. I did that for like a really long time. And so I got really into like baseball, but only in like the idea of baseball. Not like I don't give a shit about baseball, but like at the time I was really into the concept. And I was thinking at the time that like, man, if I had been this like intellectually interested in this sport when I was like 8 years old, I may have really gotten into baseball. Like,
Yeah.
But at the time, it's like you're like 7 or 8, and you're just like, why does everybody want me to play baseball? Like, I don't
Yeah.
even understand. Like, I'm not interested in
This
this.
sucks.
No.
This sucks.
Dude, playing baseball fucking sucks when
Yeah,
you're a kid.
it was miserable. It was like one of the worst things ever when
Yeah.
you're a kid. Like, it's like I got to go stand in this dirt lot for like an hour. Nothing ever happens because they're tiny children and they
Yeah.
hit the ball like 20 feet.
We are all terrible at this fucking game, Dad.
Yeah. Like, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there was a ton of other interests that like kind of weren't sport. Like I did play like t-ball and basketball to like much celebrated failure. Of course, I played soccer because every kid in the 90s played soccer.
Yeah.
And there's like a couple of other ones, but it was all bad. I took fencing for a while.
What?
Of course you would. Of
It's
course you would have fenced
Well, my
as a
mom,
boy.
my
That's
mom was the
awesome.
my mom's the kind of mom that definitely was like let's pull out the obscure manuals and see what classes are being offered. Like, and so yeah, I ended up fencing for a little while, never really competing, just like taking it, you know?
Right.
And like, I was terrible at that too, though. So
I did too, but I had the metal soup strainer and like a fly swatter.
Yeah.
Like with my sister that didn't want to do that at all.
yeah.
It was awesome. But dude, hats off to your mom. Like,
Yeah,
fencing is
that's pretty legit.
cool.
No, and that's the thing. It's like my mom made us do weird things when we were kids, but it was all pretty awesome. Like I joke with my wife all the time that like we basically went on vacations to like Civil War battlefields and like museums, and it's like that's basically where the high points. It's like, but that was like the thing. It's like we'll take like a long road trip to see like a family relative, and then like we're stopping at every miscellaneous historical marker, like ruins and battlefields, like lots of those.
That's pretty cool.
And, like,
I went to a ruin several times as a kid. It was Branson, Missouri. It
yeah.
was cultural ruin. It
Yeah.
was terrible.
Oh yeah.
Like I saw Charlie Pride in concert and went to the Wax Museum.
Yeah.
There's a ruin.
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
I've been to that wax museum. That was pretty good.
Yeah, good meaning terribly.
Meaning like maybe the
shitty.
high point of this awful place that we're in. Like,
Fucking Branson, man. Branson.
it's depressing.
How many times
stuff.
you been there?
I've probably been there like 5 or 6 times when I was a kid, and then like never since then.
Yeah, like no
like,
reason.
I like that Simpsons episode where Marge like just keeps asking where the booze are the whole time she's there. I feel like that's what it would be like if I went there now. Like, so wait, where are the bars again? Because like this is all about liquor, right? Like, no, it's about wholesome family entertainment.
Yeah, it's about Christian
oh my
plays.
God.
Like gross.
Yeah.
No.
It's like no, let's get
Yeah,
out of here.
riverboat and magic shows without alcohol.
Yeah,
That's fun.
No, that's terrible.
No,
And
it is terrible.
I remember seeing an article recently about Branson and about how like it's a shithole, but there's
Yeah.
also like this kind of resurgence that's happening with probably with every place that was great and then terrible and then
Yeah.
building back up again. But you know, when I went to Branson as a kid, you know, I went with my like divorced dad, like me, my dad, and my sister. Like we'd go.
Yeah.
He was trying to show us a good time.
Silver Dollar City.
Silver Dollar City, Hobnobbers. Like all these again, the Christian plays and
Yeah.
the place where they throw the rolls at your head or whatever, like
Yeah.
Rube City
Yeah.
is what they
Rubes.
should have called
Yeah.
it. Yeah, hey, go here and get bread thrown at your head.
Southern Baptist
Wow.
Vegas.
Yes,
Definitely.
exactly.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like I kind of like if I ever had to go through Branson. And let's say you had to stay the night there. Let's say you were driving through and you're like, man, I'm tired. You know, I'm gonna get a hotel for the night.
Yeah,
I kind of want to know what like a cool bar is like there. Cool in like a dive,
yeah,
sort of.
Yeah,
Like
just
what's
like
the
a weird
high-low
relic.
of Branson?
Yeah,
It might be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
The
there's gotta
high-low
be-
of Branson.
yeah. There's got to be something all right. In
Oh,
Branson.
there's some counterculture in Branson for sure. There's got to be something.
My mom lives north of Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Santa Fe, New Mexico is another kind of like, it's a different kind of wholesome tourist destination. It's more for your like 60-year-old college educated, like kind of like just like college educated liberal old people is basically like the
Right.
big vacationers there. But there is a punk dive bar in downtown Santa Fe, and it's like all art galleries and like
Yeah.
places to buy ornamental silver and just like cheesy tourist shops. But then there's this dive, and it's like, it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of sad
Right.
because it's like no one comes here, you know.
Yeah, there's one venue to play in Santa Fe, and it's actually like a youth recreation center that like bands, like touring bands actually play it. We played it in Secret Handshake, and it was like, I was like, cool, it's a cool fucking spot. And you get there, and there's 3 fucking people that come to your show.
It's a small town.
It's yeah.
And I imagine it's like
okay.
Branson, where it's like everybody there is kind of employed in like the trade of the town,
Yeah.
you know? And so it is just
Yeah.
kind of like,
There's not like a mill or whatever. It's like whatever your thing is, that's what you do.
but yeah, I'm sure there's a load. Basically, there's got to be a load of service industry people in Branson that are actually
Yeah.
pretty fun to hang
Oh,
out
for
with.
sure. Well, that's what it was. Like when we finished playing that show, it was the promoter who put the show on was actually I guess bartender or something. I don't know. So we went back to his apartment, and that's when all the cool kids showed up.
Yeah, yeah.
And we just got drunk on Pig's Eye.
Mm,
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
It was pretty classy.
yeah, a Branson classic.
But
Pig's Eye beer.
however, Santa Fe it's a very pretty town.
Yeah, it's
Have
beautiful.
okay, you said Branson, Missouri.
Uh-huh.
You ever been to Dogpatch, USA?
No.
It's non-existent. It's not there anymore. It's in Arkansas. It was
Okay. Dog Patch?
Dogpatch, USA, based on the play Little Abner.
Oh, okay.
It was a theme park, and I went there several times as a child. It is now defunct. You can find pictures online. It's fucking creepy as shit now. But it was a theme park, and it was very wholesome. It was one of those wholesome theme parks, and it had throw a roll at the rube or whatever, that kind of shit. It was,
Yeah.
it was just a weird thing, and and the reason I asked is because my family talks about it, but anytime I bring it up to anybody else, they act like I'm fucking crazy.
Well, the word dog patch doesn't help that at all.
Yeah.
If you Google Dogpatch USA, the first thing you're going to see is a cartoon picture of like a dogwood style. Is it Dagwood? Dogwood. the comic
Dagwood?
Dagwood.
Dagwood's like Blondie's husband.
It's a Blondie type character with gigantic breasts and like a polka dot top. That's the first thing you're gonna see. It's so fucking weird that it was this wholesome family thing. It's like that titties.
Yeah.
Just weird. Sorry, I just wanted to.
Moms have breasts.
Just wanted to bring up
Josh.
dog fetch. Mamas don't look like that though.
Not my mom. She's dead. So when you were young, did you excel at sports, or did you try a sport?
I
and
did not
be
excel
into
at them. I tried two. I tried basketball. The things that a fat kid can do is basketball and baseball. And I was not good at baseball. I was relatively good. I did that for a while, but basketball is the one that I remember playing 1 year, and it was a team of fucking misfits. And my wife found when you do that, the team picture where like it's your picture in the small thing and then like the team picture in the big square.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, yeah, that's cute. I'm like, yeah, okay, look at this. It's all fat butterballs and nerds and then one super tall kid.
Yeah, they may have played basketball after this.
And he did. And he kept going and playing basketball after that. It was his, I don't know, like the Mighty Ducks moment of like they have one good player on the team. Then he says, fuck you guys, I'm going to actually be up. So we were just a gang of misfits that never got our end of season championship win. We were just
your comeuppance.
never happened. We were just fucking terrible. I hated it. Baseball, however, I enjoyed a little, aside from the younger years of picking flowers in an outfield.
Yeah.
And then the ball comes to you,
That's
and
the
you
part
like
I never made it
freak out.
past.
Yeah, or the worst being the first, because it was like T-ball, machine pitch, coach pitch, kid pitch.
Yeah.
So when it goes to like kid pitch and you're I was catcher for pretty much forever. And like, okay, and you got to squat. Now realizing you're doing that for quite a while.
Yeah.
It's super uncomfortable.
And now this idiot kid you go to school with is going to throw a ball at you.
Throwing a ball at you.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and it's going to hit you numerous times. You have to wear a cup. You don't have to do that with any other position in the game. I mean,
I think you have to wear a cup in any position in baseball.
Really?
Well, yeah, I think I was a catcher too, so maybe not.
Well, that was my first time ever wearing a cup, and I thought it was the weirdest fucking thing. I'm putting my junk and balls in this, what looks like a reverse urinal. Like,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like,
My question is, with the cup, why wasn't it upside down? Why wasn't there a little more room for the boys?
there wasn't.
No, it was like the shape of a vagina.
Yeah.
Drawing.
No, my dick isn't up here, dude. It's like,
Yeah, there's definitely a taper.
and the balls
Yeah.
hang lower. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess when you're a kid, they don't, but
No.
now that you're 35, they hang lower.
Once
Yeah.
you turn 30, you have to flip that cup upside down. And you're just walking around like a cowboy all day. Like, it's terrible.
So I never even made it into the having to wear a cup phase of amateur sport.
Didn't even drop yet.
No, did not make it very far.
You guys were talking earlier about were you ever the dirt bike kid? I was never the dirt bike kid. I was the in Choctaw, small town. I was the go-kart kid.
Oh, nice.
That's better than the dirt bike
That's
kid.
prestige,
Yeah.
my friend.
You say that. Here's my father's. God, my dad is so funny. You can make a fucking show off of the shit he used to do. He was a very I wouldn't say cheap man. He was frugal. And I came from school one day. He's like, "Got you guys a go-kart." I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" And you go out, and it looks like a go-kart.
Yeah.
However, what it is, it's the frame of a go-kart with a lawnmower motor on the back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no speeds. It's just go.
Yeah.
And your gas isn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
You're
just-
basically hitting the brake to
Yes.
stop an
You're
engine.
applying
Yeah.
the brake to stop an engine.
Yeah.
And my friends still thought it was the coolest fucking thing.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I had 3
would've been all
friends
over
run
that.
over their own hands. Like it was terrible. It was dangerous as shit. My sister ran into a fence, like tore our whole fence down. I think I ran into the garage. Just some weird, cause it's a brake. And if the brakes are terrible on this fucking,
Repurposed swing set, basically.
Pretty
It's like
much.
a
Yeah.
welded church swing
it
set.
was oh my God. And then I remember when my dad says this every fucking, so allegedly we dealt with that. And then later on, a few years after that, my dad, I guess we were just terrible kids and said, I got you guys a real go-kart for Christmas and you fucked it up. And then like showed us a receipt for like an actual go-kart. Like, man, that's terrible. He may have just forged that whole fucking receipt. He may have knew a guy at the shop like, hey, print up a receipt for a go-kart.
For one go-kart.
I want to show my kids a fucking lesson.
Yeah, Jim Photoshop Montgomery. Stayed up Christmas Eve to make some fake receipt.
That would be fucking genius if it was, though.
That is like my favorite thing. It's kind of it's one of those weird things that we're like, yeah, it's like a societal thing. Like we raise boys in this very specific way, but like there is a lot of like crazy danger. And it's just like zany, like, yeah, I gave the boy a torch and told him to burn these things off of the deal, you know? And it's like, yeah, that seems acceptable.
Oh, no.
What is he, 12? I'm sure he can figure that out.
I used a chainsaw when I was 13 years old with no prior knowledge whatsoever.
You're just like issued a chainsaw.
Why?
Yeah.
It's like,
take this crazy tool.
Yeah.
Like, there's no YouTube yet. Like, just go out there and knock yourself out. You'll figure it out.
Dude, same with a fucking pocket knife.
Yeah.
Like, I have a pocket knife in my pocket that I keep at work. And, like, it's one of those ones where you can, like, flick it out.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like, you know, it's awesome. But, like, anytime I flick that thing out, like, I take extra care with it. Like, I don't just, like, haphazardly, like I'm in the fucking Sharks or Jets, like, whip it out of my pocket like some dudes do. I like make sure my hand is positioned perfectly. I make eye contact with it and slowly click it out and then two-handedly I don't do that thing where you like put it back together on your jeans.
Speaking of being the dirt bike kid, I had a cousin, and then by extension an uncle. My uncle taught karate.
One before the other.
Were you the karate kid?
No, but my cousins all had like battle gear. It's like their dad was like a karate instructor, so it's like they were the ones that like, yeah, I've got some throwing stars, you know, like I've got throwing stars. We got nunchucks.
You could play Ninja Turtles like legit,
but it was all like kind of dangerous, you know.
Yeah,
it's like actually like kind of real weapons.
Oh, for sure.
This is a pretty weird thing for like, you know, an 11-year-old kid to have, and it's like
access to ninja weapons. Probably, it might be a little sketchy.
Like, yeah, just play with the ninja weapons. It's fine.
Dude, I had that growing up because my dad and I actually took karate lessons together. And so then like I started going down that karate rabbit hole and I got like the karate magazines from the 80s.
The Century Martial Arts catalog.
Yes, dude, Chuck Norris on there. Yeah. And like I remember distinctly.
The kickboxing jeans.
Fuck yeah, like with the flex shit inside.
Yeah.
But I remember like just yearning to get like the Century, basically like the sparring gear.
Yeah,
the
pad,
big helmet, the arm pads, the knee pads, everything. Just to beat the shit out of your friends with?
Yeah.
But I was the one that had the pad, so I was always the one getting hit.
It's like there's no logical way to actually use any of this because your friends are just going to come over and be like, check out all my gear. You want to hit each other with these nunchucks?
Yeah.
Or like, Eastern Treasures again, Crossroads Mall.
Man.
I got a set of real nunchucks, like wood ones, you know, with like the chain, not just those like foamy shit.
With the rope?
Fuck that. And I was like, thought I was so cool, like swinging them around in the yard. And I hit myself in the mouth with one of them and it bloodied my mouth. And I just thought, of course, shit, I fucking broke my teeth out. But I luckily, I just busted my lip.
Yeah, it was fine.
But I was like, way to spend your $12, Dad. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Dude, I had like an obsession with the martial arts, like anything martial arts movies based, Seagal, Jean-Claude Van, like all those like Kickboxer, American Ninja, all that shit. And yeah, weapons. Like, would you ever make your own weapons? Like, make your own bow staff? Or...
We would make swords out of lattice board. We had like a bunch of lattice behind the house. So we would go and like farm pieces and then make these like intricate like swords with like hand guards out of pieces of lattice and then like just drive nails through them and then bend the tetanus nails back into the board and then we would battle with them.
Yeah. Perfect.
Great. Like
not asking for any kind of danger.
Katana or a sheet of lattice board.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
Totally logical.
Someone's getting hurt.
Man, okay, so kind of want to wrap up here, but
sure.
Let's talk about, you all had the friend probably that got hurt real bad. Like, I'm thinking of a story I have, and I kind of want to throw it around here before I tell mine, but did you ever have a friend that in doing these kind of things, like, took the brunt of something that maybe they shouldn't have and got real hurt? Do you know something off the top of your head? All right, you go first.
Definitely. So, like most kids that we probably know grew up on just like some random ass generic like suburban street Midwest city, and it's like, which is actually, in retrospect kind of dense. Like those old 50s neighborhoods are actually kind of close together.
Oh, yeah,
there's a lot of people over there. And so of course there was like the, 6 to 8 miscreant like preteen boys that would hang out and skate all day, and it's like we had like ramps and hang out in the street and stuff like that. And I just remember an incident when I was like, I was on the younger end of this group of kids, so I was probably like 10, 11, somewhere in there, and there was a handful of maybe early teenagers in that group and stuff. But there was like this, we had the ramp built out in the street, and we would hang out in front of this one kid's house, like at the end of the street, whose dad had like a pool table. He was probably the one with the single dad, it's just like, oh, he's got a pool table, like that's pretty cool.
Hey, that's cool.
His dad might have a muscle car,
that's kind of
or
a dirt
something
bike
like that.
kid thing.
Yeah, and so like we would hang out by his house. Well, I just remember that kid going over a ramp and like compound fracturing the bones in the bottom of his arm. And so it's like the bones are like sticking out of the skin, and like the idiotic response we all had as preteen boys was just to fucking run. And it's like, cause like basically it's like you go through this traumatic thing and just like, somehow I'm responsible. I better get the fuck out of here. It's like, my mom's not going to let me skate anymore. Something bad is going to happen. Like, we've got to get out of here. And so like literally, I think just literally everyone turned around and ran to their house. And like they just all bolted, and
you let your friend there with a fractured arm.
Yeah, exactly. But he's like right in front of his parents' house, and you're just kind of like,
he was fine.
Oh shit, did I hurt him? Like I don't have any. Maybe I'm responsible. Like maybe my mom's mad, and like you just like overcome with emotion, and you just bail. And it's like, yes, as an adult, you think about that as like, oh my god, that's horrible. Like you would never do that to somebody now, and like never even consider. But when you're just like 10 or 11 years old, it's just like all you can think of. Default position, go home. Like
you don't know any better. You don't know any better.
No,
Something bad happened. I'm out. Like
it's like if you kill an ant on the sidewalk, the rest of them fucking scatter because they don't want to be killed.
Like, oh shit! I don't want that to happen to me. Like I better get home.
Man, can you think of anything?
Nothing off the top of my head. I mean, I'm sure there were quite a few. I remember some people taking some spills off of a cliff.
What? Like
okay.
Grand Canyon or
no? Okay, in the neighborhood I lived in, grew up in, it was Choctaw, but it was suburban. Like super suburban Choctaw, is even fucking a thing. There was a neighborhood where the houses were super far apart and it was heavily wooded. And there was a part in the woods where some kids a decade prior had cut out a bicycle path in the woods. And on this path, these kids thought they were badasses and made this little thing. They went over this cliff, and there's no railing. It's like a fucking cliff that goes down, I don't know, probably about 15 feet. But yeah, we several times. I mean, we would try to jump that and hit it, and you would just fall off the cliff. Fuck something up, your bike's fucked. Like,
oh yeah.
But we would run that thing fucking every goddamn Saturday, and without fail, someone's getting hurt. Or you try to build a ramp to jump the creek.
Oh yeah.
Never happens. Someone gets hurt, and then but you fucking bail. You sprint. You run away.
Yeah. Like, oh shit,
guys. Or like me when I was a kid and I shit my pants in the woods. That happened. Another story.
Did they run?
Yeah, they did. Left me there in the woods.
Was it the smell?
No, it was the fact that I tell my friends, "Hey guys, I think I pooped my pants," and they just ran off.
Well, nobody wants to be friends with a pants shitter.
I didn't mean to. We were in the woods. What are you gonna do? You got one?
Well, I think I might. I don't know if I told this on the podcast already, but I'll tell it again. It also involves a ramp, but had a group of boys who we all had BMX bikes, your GT, Mongoose, Dyno, what have you.
Yeah.
And we all we had our little neighborhood bike gang, the 13, 14-year-old kids or whatever. And we had a friend, Charlie, whose mom was a lesbian and didn't have a BMX bike. He had a very, very heavy mountain bike.
Oh.
And he was a heavy boy.
Yeah.
And we did the cinder block and the piece of wood.
Oh yeah.
In the middle of the street.
Classic. Yeah.
I think your parents were like, when you turned 10, somebody came by, like Matt Hoffman came by and like issued your parents like a cinder block and a
piece of wood.
And like
some shitty piece of plywood.
Yeah, a half a piece of like particle board that was like rotted on one side. And so we built our little ramp, and we were like, the neighborhood kids all came out, and we were having a little competition, like who can show each other up. We each go, and I'm kind of a puss, so I kind of go off the side. I didn't hit like the apex of the ramp.
Yeah, you're not getting max air.
Yeah, I'm no daredevil here.
Yeah.
And then so we go. My buddy Desmond goes. My buddy Kenny goes. My buddy Matt goes. Luke, Josh, everybody goes. And then old fat Charlie comes down the road, and he's just hauling ass. He's got something to prove on his
going for it.
Yeah, on his bright yellow fucking mountain bike.
Yeah.
And he hits that ramp, and the cinder block comes out from underneath.
Oh my God.
His tire hits the cinder block, and he goes over the handlebars.
Oh.
Over the handlebars, face first into the asphalt, and just like cartoonishly just scrapes his face on the asphalt, and he gets up and he looks like the cover of the Andrew WK album.
Yeah.
Just blood coming down. He knocked out all 4 front teeth.
Did you guys scatter?
God.
I scattered.
Yeah.
Of course. I
Yeah.
would still scatter.
Like, I didn't even ramp it, guys.
Yeah. Like I was halfway home by the time this happened. I was like, fuck this, hop and go back home.
Yeah.
So the story unfolds the next day.
Uh-huh.
The neighborhood babe, Holly Whitehead, she actually was watching, she was like waving her hanky like in Greece or something, for the victor of the day. She actually ran out and picked up his teeth, put them in her hand, and like escorted him down the street home where his lesbian mother...
The only one with the balls to take care of the situation.
Yes.
Was the woman, yeah.
Yes, to his mother, and it was like Charlie fell off his bike and handed his mother
Oh my God.
the teeth.
Yeah, she's hardcore. That's
And then-
pretty awesome.
Dude, she was tough and cute, as a 14-year-old would be.
Yeah.
And he got his teeth sewn back in.
Oh my God.
Like up over the root. And like he showed up a few days later and he's like, "Look, guys," and he like lifted up his upper lip and you could just see like the stitches where his teeth were put back in. And he wasn't even mad. He was like, "Yeah, it was scary. I don't blame you for running."
Yeah.
And scored big points with Holly.
Oh, yeah.
And then from then on, the joke was like, Charlie meant to do it. He was trying to flirt with Holly, which totally fucking blew up in his face.
Yeah.
Like, terrible.
Yeah.
That is truly insult to injury.
Oh, yeah. Completely.
So, yeah. Okay, so I guess it's time to wrap up.
Is it?
Yeah. Any parting words? I'm going to put you on the spot yet again. Surprise.
That's a surprise. No. Just be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.
Party on, dudes.
Atlee, thank you so much for coming,
Yeah,
man.
thanks for having me.
This
I
was
had a
so
great time.
Yeah, excellent. Until next time, America.
Bye.